I always wondered in this world, why as humans do we need to feel like impressing other people who we don't even know, who don't care about us, is something that's valuable? I've always been the type of person where I never really cared what people thought about me. I never cared about what family thought about me. I never cared about what random people thought about me, right? As long as it's not affecting my life, it's not affecting my peace and tranquility, I don't care. But when people cross the line and it starts to affect your tranquility, especially if it's random strangers you've never met, that crosses a line, point blank, period. And all the deeds done in the dark will come to the light. Remember that. Now, one thing that I've had in my life, and it's kind of been reoccurring, is having pretty females either frown at me, laugh at me, or just humiliate me. You know, like, let me give you one example, right? This was like in 2010 or 2011, right? And I remember I was going to the financial aid office at Long Beach City College, and like it's like a whole process to get your financial aid thing. I think it still is now, but I haven't even tried to attempt financial aid in a long time. But back then, I got this financial aid money or whatever, and like to get it or whatever, or like to confirm it, you got to go to like the little office or whatever. And then like at that time, it wasn't like just deposited to your card yet or whatever. Like you have to go in there, fill out paperwork and all that. So your social security, it's like a whole little thing then. I don't know how it is now, but long story short, I went to the financial aid office. It was like to get the check. I think it was like either they'll put it in an account, they give you like a card, or you come there and a check or something like that. I remember just like I just wanted the check. So I go up in there, and I kid you not, like this happened so many times where it's like this like it was like a young pretty girl, just it's like the prime time of college, young 21, 22 year old, like she's in her prime, or maybe even 19 at the time, but I just know she was young and beautiful. And there was like this Chad type of character that was like he was getting like financial whatever aid taken care of or whatever too, and she was just like all smiling with him, being happy with him and all that. And then I kid you not, like right when she gets done with them, she's like, thank you, have a good day. He's like, all right, and this, like he wasn't even that polite. He just walked off, you know. And then right when she seen me, her whole demeanor changed, her whole face changed, and I'm just like, what the fuck, what the hell, like, huh? And then she starts being rude with me. I'm like, yeah, I'm here to pick up my financial aid check. And she didn't say nothing. I'm like, what? Did she hear me? And she's like, fill this out. Like it was just like all it's like I was joining the military or something. It was just like all robotic. And I'm thinking in my head, like, why would you like is there something on my face? And I remember I went to the bathroom or whatever. I looked in the mirror. I was like, hey, what's wrong with me? Do I have something on my face? Do I have a booger in my nose? Like, well, what? Because I always, before I really head out, I look at my face. I check. I make sure there ain't nothing in my nose, nothing in my ears. Like I wash my face. I shower. Like I make sure that I'm clean when I go out. Right. So what is it? It was just something about me that she didn't like. And I'm looking back at it now. It was just the demiurge making sure that I don't get too happy. It was just the demiurge making sure that I seen a girl who was smiling. And I thought, wow, I can finally be in the energy of a bubbly, cute girl. Because when a beautiful woman is happy and she's smiling and laughing, there's like a certain energy. It's like a certain peace that's released, right? And so when I come up, she gets an attitude. And I'm like, what the hell? And another time I remember, bro, I remember this is like 2013 or whatever. And this one I was at this one job, right? I gotta be vague now because I got all type of inspectors and all type of people, you know what I mean? Like I got a bunch of trolls that have nothing else better to do with their lives, But I was working at this one place or whatever. And like where we work at, well, if I'm just say, I was working in the Conservation Corps of Long Beach, and one of our jobs was going like to the City Hall building and actually going through each one of the little floors and taking the trash out of the little floors. And there was like this one room. It was like a security room. It was like one of those rooms where kind of like it runs like all like it runs like all the stoplights in the city. I remember that it was like a computer room or server room. There was like a few guys in there, and there was this one girl that worked in there too. And I remember one of my partners, you know what I mean? Because like, because we'll be signed City Hall. It wasn't every day. It was like every other Wednesday or whatever. We go to City Hall, and the partner assigned to me was this white boy named Chase. Now Chase was kind of, um, I'm not gonna say he was a tweaker or nothing like that, but he was definitely a smoker. He was pretty cool, you know, and he was cool, but he even gave me money for lunch one time and didn't even ask for the change back. You know, he gave me like $20 for lunch, and I had spent the whole 20. He kind of came back expecting change, but look, didn't say nothing and walked off. And he was cool. He never tripped about it, you know. But there was this one beautiful, beautiful girl that worked in that area, you know, in that server room or whatever. And like, I remember one time I'm going there taking out the trash because like to get in there you can't just walk up in there like to get in there you have to like you gotta go to like the security guard guarding the door, and then they gotta like call their little office and they ring you in and they gotta make sure your name matches your ID tag and it matches this, that, and the third, and they see your ID and then they let you in there because it's like the server room for like the city lights and stuff. So you mess something up in there, you can have people, you know, getting car accidents and stuff. So like I would see her and like she would never really acknowledge me. Usually, she only look at me if Chase was there, and she wouldn't even smile at me. But it was her, and like there was a couple of guys in there or whatever, but they're on some hater shit. But long story short, one time Chase didn't come in, you know, and I had to do the city hall by myself, and it's so much harder when you're by yourself than when there's two people. And then I remember like when that door opened and I was walking there taking like all the little trash and stuff out in that little area by that server or whatever. And I remember she was like, I literally seen her face. She was typing on the computer screen, and like she heard a little like the little bins come like the little bins coming, the little trash bin. And every time she would like hear that, she would like perk up and look like, oh hey Chase, and run up and give him a hug. So she like gets all excited in her eyes. She looks up, she sees me, and then immediately just frowns. She immediately just frowns, and I'm like, what the hell? And then what made it even more brutal was like there's like a lunch area. They had like a little cafeteria area that you have to clean up as well. And I remember seeing her with like a bunch of her like other girls down there too that I would see all through the different levels, and they were all kind of like looking at me and like talking about me and just like they're like laughing at me. I'm like, what the hell? It's like I'm a young male with a job, you know. Why are you girls laughing at me? Yeah, I'm picking up trash. And it was, bro, that's one of the worst jobs I've had, I actually say. Is like, it was cool with some people I met, but imagine picking up trash in front of beautiful females. And they're messing with guys who got their own car, they got their own apartment, they probably got a penthouse, they probably got their money up, and I'm here picking up trash like a servant in front of them, you know. And they were just laughing and snickering. Like, he's ugly, you know. Like I don't know, are women that? I don't know if women do that on purpose or if they do that and they don't know how loud they are because they think guys are stupid or something. But women will talk about you and they'll try to like speak about it in a whisper, but the whisper is so loud and you can still hear it. They're like, look at his shoes, look at that, look at his hairline's messed up, look at him, he's one of those. You hear him like, you know, they talk crap. And I don't know if they do that on purpose, because if you try to confront them, guess who's going to be the bad guy? It's not going to be them, you know. And it's just, I remember one time at Starbucks, bro. At Starbucks, you know, like I had like a freaking female, you know, just got an attitude with me for no apparent reason. I'm like, what the hell? Right? Just cause you know how they ask you your name, like at Starbucks, and you tell them your name, and she's like, what? What? She's like, what? All I'm like, what the hell? I said my name now enough, you know? And I get that a lot, where I'll go somewhere and I'll try to cause I'm usually a quiet person. You know, I talk a lot when I make these videos, but other than that, I'm pretty much quiet and silent. I'm making beats, or I'm writing usually. You know, even though right now I'm going through mental health issues and stuff. You know, it's brutal. Like, remember, I'm a schizophrenic. You know, I'm just not diagnosed. Right? I hear voices and see things in my head all the time. So sometimes I'll be talking and my mind be 1,000 places at once. I may forget shit mid-sentence. Like, I'm a schizophrenic for real, bro. Yeah? By the definition. Yeah, the world doesn't show me no mercy. It doesn't show me anything. I'm thinking about going to the doctor and trying to get checked out and see if I can get some type of disability or something. Honestly. Because I feel like being trapped as a wagey in a cage is just going to break me even more. And Another thing I find myself doing is avoiding places where beautiful women can be at, which is everywhere. Because you can go to a Jack in the Box and see a beautiful girl in her Lexus just waiting for her meal, and it's like, damn. Or you can see her inside there ordering something. It's like, ah. So it's kind of why I isolate myself. When I see beautiful women, bro, they frighten me. I try my best to avoid beautiful women. And that may sound weird. It's like, what? But it's like I avoid beautiful women because I had so many negative experiences. I can keep on going on with all the experiences. Basically, all I was trying to say is like, I've always had negative experiences when it comes to girls that are attractive, even girls that are unattractive that try to talk crap. I'm talking about girls that look like Snorlax that try to talk crap, but it hurts more when the girl's more attractive, right? Because you want the acceptance of the attractive female. So when an attractive female dejects you and laughs at you and teases you, it's humiliating. But I remember times like I'm talking about I'm over the age of like 19. I'm like in my early 20s, right? And I think I'm at the store with my mom or whatever, and like I'm picking out some soap, like just some soap. I just needed some soap, and I didn't have a lot of money, so I need some soap. My mom's gonna say something like, boy, she say, boy, put that soap down. Damn well you don't wash no dishes, blah 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 blah. Like in front of like this, in front of this group of these pretty females, right? It's like three of these beautiful females, whatever. She said that right in front of them. They look, they start laughing. She's like, dang, dang, isn't he a little too old to have his mom talk to him like that? And they turn the corner. I'm sitting there embarrassed. I don't say nothing. I'm just like, wow. I had so many times. Like, do you know why I smoke weed, bro? I smoked a lot of kush because I block memories like that out. Do you know how that even now that haunts me and that feeds the damn demon years and it feeds the archons when I think about negative situations like that happen. And if you ask people who've done things like that to you, they'll be like, I don't remember that. I forgot about that. I don't remember that. But then it's like, it's crazy how people could do certain things to you and then magically forget. They have magical selective amnesia. But that's just how it is, though, man. It's like I've never really felt like a real man. I've never felt like a man. I never had to, like I never had the real chance. What chance did I have? If I would have just went to a 9 to 5, I would have been I'd be a wagey in the cagey and been miserable in my life. Do you think I'll really be happy if I have to wake up every day and be trapped at a corporation? How free my mind is, how free my soul is, how free my spirit is. I already know we live in a hell realm. I already know we live in a realm that punishes you for being happy, that it doesn't want you to be happy. It wants you to be miserable because the misery is what these entities feed off of. They feed off our misery. They feed off of our pain. They feed off our agony. They feed off of things that drive us insane. Our detrimental situations is what's putting the fluctuation and the positive reinforcement to these negative beings in different dimensions. I don't care how weird that sounds. You got people in skulls and bones. You ever heard of skulls and bones? No. Of course you never heard of that because people don't do their research. You know, I've read the occult books. That can be found. There's powerful. You don't have to believe it, but the people who control your bank, who control your money, I bet you believe in money, right? You need money to eat and pay your bills, right? You believe in that, right? Okay. Well, the people that run your money, that you have to pay your bills to, and who give you the money, give you the authorization of money, they believe in interdimensional beings. They believe to sacrifice into these creatures and cretins and deviant, mischievous deities. They believe in that. It's not enough a reason to give you to make you interested in it. They're interested in the subject. Bro, I can keep going on, bro. Like. That's why I'm kind of angry that my last channel was got I don't know, it's just because I had much more stories in my last channel. It's just like I just want to kind of forget about all that stuff because I've been getting more into Gnosticism again, and it's like the more you bring up negative past situations you've been through, it's like the more these archons feed off of it, and I don't want to keep them feeding them with my negative events that happened in my life, right? But I'm just saying, man, like women will laugh at you when you're a guy in this position, and they will know. They'll know when you're a loser guy. Like you may look at women, you may watch the ASMR channels. Those same girls you're watching on the ASMR, these are the same girls that would see you and be like, "Ew, get away from me." These are the same exact women who don't want nothing to do with you. How is a man supposed to sustain any type of confidence in himself when every woman he runs into is not interested in him? How are you supposed to have belief and confidence in yourself? How are you supposed to go out there and find the 9 to 5 and grind every day, when you don't have nothing to come home to? It's okay just for yourself. Okay, but at the end of the day, One day when you're alone, you may have a heart condition, a mind condition, a brain aneurysm, something, and no one's going to be there to help you. And all that hard work you did, all that stacking, all that money, what good is that going to do you then? When the next thing you want is just another breath, but your money in the bank account can't buy you another breath. And then what makes it even worse, if you look like a person like me and you go to the hospital, it seems like there's a high fatality rate. It's like almost like there's people who go to these hospitals that see people like me who are in these life-threatening situations, and let's just say they put the sword back in the sheath. That's the best way I can put it, right? And then all of a sudden we go into the hospital and then we don't come out the hospital breathing again. And that's been going on for a long time. And that's another thing. It's like I don't want to be my skin color configuration. I don't care how that sounds to people. You go with the stress, then you deal with it. I want to be the skin color configuration that has the most easiest social acceptance. And we already know what that is, so I'm not going to say it. That based on like a distance. Let's say we're in a zombie apocalypse and somebody looks at me through a sniper scope. They can see my skin color configuration, but they can see somebody else and see the skin color configuration that matches theirs. And then, okay, who's that person, right? It's like this is a brutal life, man. And when you've been getting teased ever since you were in school by women, you start to kind of, I'm not gonna say fear women, but you start to avoid a lot of beautiful girls. Like if I know this, like somebody, oh, I'm going to a kickback or I'm going to a bonfire. 'Cause I used to go to those a lot when I was younger, bonfires or whatever. And they're pretty much just outside kickbacks by the beach, And sometimes the police would come, and of course the police would only mess with me, seriously. you know, especially the cops at Belmont Shore. Like, if y'all ever heard of Belmont Shore, my God, those people there are just, it's like the NKVD around there or the Gestapo. Ridiculous. But when you go through a lifetime of having women laugh at you and tease you and make fun of you and make a mockery out of you, like, come on. Like, I know I'm not the only one, bro. Because I heard people tell me their story. They told me what they've been through, and it's exactly like mine. You go to certain, hell, even the doctor's office, bro. Even going to the doctor's office, you have people, like, it's like, I find myself sometimes in certain places where I'll be the only person that looks like me. And then, let's say if the place is like, how do I put this gently and sensitively? If I'm in a place where there's another demographic and they see me, it doesn't matter if I come in there being polite and I speak. They'll have me wait there for like an hour or two. Let's say my appointment's at 11:30. They'll have somebody just come in there at like 11:45, and then that person will go inside and see the doctor way before I do, and they don't get to me like 2.5, 3 hours later. That's been going on for a long time. And I'm such a polite person, I don't say nothing. I just be quiet and I wait. Only in extreme cases I may say something, but for the most part I just be quiet and I just wait my turn, because like, this is what I honestly feel. I almost feel like I deserve to be punished because of my skin color configuration. And that's how you know this world is sad, is that it makes you despise yourself and think it gaslights yourself. You didn't do anything wrong to nobody, you didn't bother nobody. It's the fact that everywhere you go, people keep mistreating you and keep bothering you. So I start to think, well, hell, maybe there's something wrong with me, right? Maybe I am bad. Maybe I am evil. Because every time there's beautiful women around, they always tease me and make fun of me and crap on me. And then that's how you know the world is wrong. That's how you know you got gaslighted by the world, because it's not your fault. You didn't have any control. Because if I have had control, all these beautiful women that don't like me and that attack me and just despise me, if I had it my way, I'll be tall Tyrone, I'll be Johnny Thundersong, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be tall, handsome, rich, wealthy, powerful. I wouldn't be in this position, I, what do you do in this world, really? Like, what do you do? Like, everybody has a title. Or are you a carpenter? Are you a fireman? Are you a doctor? Are you a police officer? What if I want to be a philosopher? What if I want to be like Terrence McKenna? What if I want to speak truth, wisdom, and knowledge? What if I want to understand the spiritual world and the spiritual realms? What if I want to see what life is really about? What if I want to expose the elites and have these people, stop doing their evil and wickedness? What if I want to do that? What if I want to actually live my life and enjoy it? Why is there some type of invisible barrier that stops me from that? Why is there some type of invisible barrier that doesn't want me to be happy? It doesn't want me to be merry. It wants me to be trapped in this barrier. And it wants me to be a psychedelic or a psychological deterioration carrier. It wants me to be manipulated and destroyed by this evil void, right? And then I see, like, bro, there's so many videos I want to make on some of these girls who claim to be femcells and claim to be lonely, but I know my channel will blow up again fast like it did last time if I start going into theirs, But it's like, honestly, bro, it's like, that's what made my channel become really big, honestly. When I started making those bop and thought videos, that's what really took me to another level, you know? So I really should start doing those videos again and try to get 10,000 subscribers this time, right? But nah, bro, because I already said everything. It's like by now, if you don't like, it's like I already said everything I could in those videos, and people told me those videos helped them out and all that. So to me, that's a reward in itself, right? That you're rewarded like that. But that's one thing that bothers me, bro. It's like even as now as a grown man, being humiliated by females. Like I remember when I was back in Cali, I went to this temp agency, and it was like one of those things where they're supposed to pay you for training, and I never got paid for it, by the way, either. They're supposed to pay you for training, and I remember like the training, like it was like this black lady or whatever, and don't let me, never mind me, let me hold my tongue. But there was like this black woman, and I can tell she had an attitude with me. And I'm like, that's a problem. People of your own skin color configuration is having a problem with you. Meanwhile, if I was like Hispanic or something like that, for the most part, the lady was probably start speaking to me in Spanish and made me trying to feel welcome. But this African American woman, you know, looked at me and just had something against me. It's like I don't know if I look like her ex. I don't know if like I remind her of somebody, but she had something against me, talking to me disrespectfully, yelling at me, the first day, and I'm like, what the hell, you know? I never went back, bro. I remember that. Like I never went back. I'm not about to go here and get disrespected by some sheik by some Kanisha every single day, and I gotta sit there and just take it because I need a little paycheck, bro. And that's part of the reason why I became neat, because there was like when I had temp agency, jobs or whatever, and they do some foul crap. I'd be like, well, f this, I'm gonna go back to my neat life, and I'll have like a couple of hundred saved up, and then me and the homies will, put a little weight together and get some green, and you know but I don't have that no more. So now whenever I have to go and face the storm. I have to go and face the war. I have to go and face the battle by myself, and I don't got no reinforcements. Nobody wants me to win. The God of this world doesn't want me to win. you know there's family members who don't want you to. I don't even have no family now. Like I don't like, all my family's gone. I don't have anybody. Like, if I was meet a girl, like, there's nobody I can show her to besides, what my mom. You know, I don't have family like that, bro. I haven't talked to my dad ever since I was like 7 years old. I never seen him since. I never seen my dad since I was like 7 or 11, one of those, since I was a kid. Shit, you know. They know how long ago that was. I don't know if my dad's even alive still. And then I feel bad about that side of my family because on my dad's side, my grandmother and my grandfather, he passed away though back in like 2016, but they were actually kind of cool people. I thought, bro, I thought I was gonna make it as a rich and famous rapper like Kendrick Lamar. Then I'll be able to reconnect all my family and start healing all the mistakes and all the pain of my family. But it didn't happen that way. Of course, it didn't happen that way. And what's crazy is one of my female cousins on my dad's side, she actually goes to Harvard. I kid you not. I'm not gonna say her name, none of that. But she goes to Harvard. And this was a person I remember, not being that smart. Yeah, you know what I mean, And I remember like telling them about the powers that be, and they thought I was joking, But now that person has a good job or whatever, and it's like, yeah. No, I shit you not, bro. And it's like, so how is this person make it into an elite, university? And I know I'm smarter than this person. This person can't write books. This person can't make music. This person can't make beats. This person can't articulate their points. All they can do well is listen to what the teacher tells them and then regurgitate it. That's not thinking. That's just memorizing, brainwashing propaganda. Thinking and propaganda are two different things. Propaganda is to brainwash you to think a certain way. It's like the news. The news is not to inform you, but the news is for brain control, mind control. That's why the news is there for. They want you to think a certain way, act a certain way. This world is brutal, bro. But I just can't stand females who always laugh at me, always disrespect me, and always attack me. I just can't deal with that no more. I can't deal with that. It's brutal. It is not something that I should have to deal with, bro. Like, why do I have to go through things in life that I don't want to go through? And people just say, that's normal. That's just life, bro. That's not just life, you servant. That's not life. Life shouldn't be about being forced to do something that you don't want. That's a big red flag that whoever created this is evil. Can't you see it? Can't you see the invisible chains, the shadow chains? Can't you see the chains inside of your brain that make you go insane? Can't you freaking see it? You're probably a guy in your apartment by yourself with no woman. And you're telling me that that's a good life? I wish I can get disability. I wish it. Because I'll get it right now. And you would and you would never ever see me being around normies ever again unless I absolutely have to. I don't like being around normies. I don't like being around, beautiful women as much as crazy as that sounds. What? Because I'm an ugly guy, and being around a beautiful woman as an ugly guy is pretty much a neutralization sentence. Because when you're an ugly guy around beautiful women, you're just going to be the butt of the jokes. People are going to target you. People are going to laugh at you. People are going to harass you. People are not going to be kind to a guy who's not handsome, and especially a person of my skin color configuration. If you don't have that thugnificent type of vibe to you, if you're not out there catching ops and making that Glock pop and doing all that, if you're not out there doing that, these women don't want nothing to do with you. But there's other races of guys who they can just be themselves and be accepted. I truly believe that if I was another skin color configuration, my life wouldn't be like this. I think the fact that I have this skin color configuration is why my life is so bad. And that's the God honest truth. As brutal as it sounds and as brutal as it is.